Hello, hello. I've arrived. Artist, archivist, future man, and tonight, theoretical medical professional. You can call me Tiberius Vanderfield. Hello, hello. But yes, so, tonight, Arknights. But yes, then on Saturday, more Arknights. But yeah, not a whole lot to be said on that. At least nothing that needs to be said before we get into the game itself, I should say. But yes, so you should be able to expect the Saturday stream at roughly, 7:30 p.m. Central Time. And yeah, I guess that's all the business. So, without any further ado, Arknights. So yes, so, one thing. Yes. Last time around, we did get into Operation 611, and we had some problems. But yes, one of the most significant problems that we had was the problem of the Frost drone, because it was simply a problem that causes other problems, basically. You know, the Frost drone causes all of your units to have, or all of your units within range, to have a substantially reduced attack speed. Yeah, it is halved, specifically. And that's not good. It's not good for a number of reasons, and we didn't have a great way to deal with it. Or at least, I didn't think that we had a great way to deal with it. But I have since done some thinking. I actually figured this out after the stream. I was talking about the issue with some friends of mine, and but yeah. Anyway, to get more to the point. Last time around, we tried to deal with the issue of the Frost drone, primarily with Meteor here. Yes, we tried to deal with the issue with Meteor, because I felt like she would probably be the sniper who was best suited out of the relatively few good options that we had. Yes, we could also potentially have leveled up Blue Poison, but I didn't necessarily want to do that at that time. But I've come up with another idea. So, last time, like I said, I thought about using a caster, but I wasn't quite sure that that would be a good idea, because I didn't think that they would have the range to be able to attack it without being in its attack range, and I didn't think that we'd have any casters that would consistently target it over other things. But I am pleased to announce that both of those were completely false, because I forgot about Steward. So, Steward specifically has the trait of preferring to attack enemies with the highest defense. And I did double check, and the Frost drone, from what I can tell, seems to have the highest defense of any enemy in that mission. So, as long as it is on the field, Steward will destroy it, basically. He will target it, or rather, as long as it's within his range. But yes, he will target it, and he will do a good amount of damage. But yeah, so even without that, even without being able to be deployed just outside of its range because of having this extra square here, even without that, he would still be a pretty substantially better choice than Meteor, due to the fact that the Frost drone's defense is so high. Because, again, the numbers on the stats, or the letters on the stats, are a little bit misleading. They're a little bit misleading. Because I look at this, and I think, defense B, resistance B+. So intuitively, I sort of think, oh, probably it's, attacking it with arch damage is going to be less effective than attacking it with physical damage. This is absolutely not the case. But yes, its resistance, having checked on the wiki, is, I believe, 30, if I remember correctly. So again, resistance is a percentage-based damage reduction. So if you have 30 resistance, you take 30% less damage from any arch damage that you would take. Whereas defense is a numerical, or it is subtracted from the damage that you would take, basically. Yeah, so broadly speaking, you can think of it in terms of the attack, like the actual attack stat of the attacking operator would be have the defense of the target subtracted from it down to a minimum of, I think, 5% or so. So you can't do less than 5% of your attack damage with each attack. So yeah, you can't do less than 5% of your attack in physical damage per attack, I should say, to be a little bit more specific. But yeah, anyway. So again, if I remember correctly, the Frost Drone has 500 H, or 500 defense, which means that it completely bottoms out Meteor, and makes it so her attack does the very bare minimum damage that it can do, because her attack is not even 500. But yes, the Armor Breaker skill does reduce its defense by 25%. Yeah, I was thinking about pairing her with another sniper, and I think I did try that for a period of time, but that didn't really work out. Yeah, we did have crews on the field at one point. But yeah, even with 2 snipers, we still weren't able to get it killed anywhere near the time. Well, we got close. We got close, but we still weren't able to get it killed before it left the field, and proceeded through our defenses and just kind of, again, made everything substantially worse for us by making all of our other operators substantially less effective. But yeah, so again, even with that, yeah, even with the letters that we saw, the grades of the defenses, yeah, Steward is just a much better option. Like, I did the math, and I don't know if I saved it, but I know I put it in a spreadsheet. And, let's see, this might be it. Hold on, is this it? No, this is a blank spreadsheet. Okay. Alright, I don't know why it opened a completely blank spreadsheet for me when I asked it to, like I launched my spreadsheet application and it says, oh, we have a file for you to recover, and I thought, huh, I don't remember if I saved the spreadsheet, so maybe this is it. I don't know why it auto-saved a completely blank spreadsheet. Anyway, do I have this written down anywhere? No, I don't think so. No, it wouldn't be there either. Anyway, basically, even with the fact that Steward attacks slower, even with the fact that he costs more to deploy, even if he were to be within range of the Frost Drone, even if all of those were true, he would still do substantially more DPS than Meteor. Because I think that Meteor does, not including the extra damage from her skill, of course. But yeah, before applying her skill, her DPS is somewhere in the range of 20 to 30, if I remember correctly. And Steward's is somewhere in the range of 200. So, again, even if he was still within the range of the Frost Drone, and even if he wasn't necessarily targeting it consistently, he'd still probably do a lot more damage to it. So,
what can I do for you?
Making the switch to Steward is probably going to be one of the more significant changes to our lineup here, or just one of the biggest helps that we can get at this point. But yeah, it's just going to be a massive benefit to us, because again, the issue with the Frost Drone is that it makes all of our other units that are within its range less effective by having their attack speed, which means that everything else takes a whole lot longer to kill. So yeah, so again, that just sort of compounds, making it so there's more and more enemies that we have to deal with, and it's all just a big mess. So just not having it be around for very long, not having it be around for as long as it possibly could, will have a massive impact on the outcome of the mission. I don't know if this will necessarily... Hold on. Yeah, I don't know that this will necessarily solve the problem already, right away.
I know what to do.
But it will make things better.
Why can't everyone try to get along?
So yes. So, Anyway, with that then, I now need to try to remember what we were doing. Which is a bit of a tall order. I don't know. We probably don't need to be that particular with it. Especially because we only have the one Vanguard, so clearly we're not that tight on DP or anything of that sort. But yes. This is good coverage for Honeyberry. And I think Midnight should be decent here. And I know that we've placed Frostleaf here. I know that much. I don't know this is necessarily exactly how we want to do things. But it is how things have been done in the past, I think. Oh, we do still have Cruz on the team. I don't know that we want Cruz on the team, per se, but we have her. She's here. Anyway, I think we'll put down Korra. This might be a little bit early for Korra, to be honest, but anything we can do to block damage heading towards Midnight is probably good. I don't think this is going to be a good place to put Perfumer, considering that she will get shot. Oh, she'll actually get shot by 2 casters. Oh dear.
What's up?
Alright, she's going to go down unless I do this. So, let's do this. Alright, she did freeze, which is bad. Not devastatingly awful, but not good either.
No matter what trouble we're in, I'll face it together with
All right.
all of you.
I feel like we probably want to put... We probably want to move Gravel at some point, but it's not that pressing. So yeah, so another thing that we want to do is we want to focus on making sure that this lower lane and the top lane are a little bit more separated. Yeah, we want to make sure that they're not both... we could probably afford to deploy Steward. Yeah, Gravel is going to keep drawing attention, so that's good. Yeah, we want to make sure that the 2 lanes are separated. The front lines of both lanes are they are pretty distinct. Because we don't want the explosions from the slugs, ideally, to be a big problem for everyone else. Alright, we can remove you. Yeah, I think this is okay. Maybe not good, but okay. Alright, things... Alright, the situation has devolved.
Are we doing this?
Oh dear. Uh-oh. Alright, well...
This place could use some... I've got a way to treat
Oh, we lost, we lost Midnight. Oh dear.
Let's just say luck wasn't on our side this time.
So yeah, another thing that I was thinking is that we probably don't need Honeyberry specifically. She's definitely not bad, and having a wide range on her is good for flexibility, but I do think having either more consistent double healing or just better healing in general would probably be good. I don't know if we necessarily have a good option. We could use Telopsis, but I think I do want the range. I do want the range. I don't know if we necessarily need the length of the range. We need the length of the range, is what I'm trying to say. I don't know if we need the width of range. I feel like Hibiscus is probably one of our better options in general. But I do think Onsel's additional healing would also be very valuable for us.
Ready whenever.
So yeah, so we might want to take Cruz off the team and put in some more melee units. Yeah, we'll definitely need to think a little bit more about what we're deploying where and when. Yes, this stage is pure nastiness. Yeah. I believe it. Yes. Okay. So again, you want to place Onsel first and then Midnight.
Please hold on.
So yes, Onsel, Midnight.
Okay.
Yes, by the way, thank you for dropping by, TVPG. Always good to see you, of course. Alright, and I think that we might do ourselves some good by deploying Perfumer early. Maybe not that early, this might have been a mistake.
I am your shadow.
This is probably a mistake. I guess, yeah, we definitely don't want Rabble this early if we can avoid it.
Okay.
There is no turning
Well, we've got
back for
Frostleaf on the field. I think that Frostleaf should be within range of both medic, or both casters. I don't know that we necessarily want her to get attacked by both of them, if we can avoid it, but... Anyway, Aura a little bit forward will help. Yeah, the caster on the bottom should be going down soon. Yeah, just a few more attacks, maybe even just one more. There we go.
you. There is no turning back for you.
So, with that, another thing that we need to consider, I guess, with this now, we can't deploy Pinecone like so, because then she'll just get eaten by the casters. So yes, I hadn't considered all the shrimplications. I realize this is not a term of this is not a phrase that many people use, and is probably not terribly comprehensible to most. Anyway. Rabble should be fine to remove at this point.
That's fine.
I don't know that we want... Oh dear.
Understood.
Well, it's not the worst thing in the world. Definitely not the best thing in the world, though.
Your orders. Extend my edge.
Alright, let's try to
Down you go.
strengthen up a little bit.
Yes. Come on. Chin up.
Alright. So, bonus healing should be good. Again, that will improve her passive healing even if she isn't attacking as much. Even if she isn't healing as much. Console is doing pretty decent. But we are still getting overwhelmed a little bit on the lower half. Oh dear.
Your orders.
The Frostbone's still not being dealt with, unfortunately. This was probably a bad idea. I don't know why I did that. Okay, hold on.
Let's just say luck wasn't on our side this time.
I might have miscalculated. Hold up. Is that... Okay. Something has gone wrong, because the Frost Drone left way before it did in previous attempts. Hold up. I mean, that's not the only problem that happened there, but anyway. Okay. Alright, looks like I need to go back to the drawing board here. Okay, so, 611. Again, we have the Frost Drone is the main issue that I want to deal with, which has 600 defense. I said it had 500 defense. That was incorrect. It does still have 30 resistance, as I had thought. Okay. So, now I need to double check that all of the enemies have the amount of defense that I thought that they did. Because it looked a bit like... Yeah, the Ice Cleaver has 500. The Caster Leader has 250. Caster has 200. Operative has 100. Yeah, the Hounds all have 0. The Slug also has 0. And yeah, the light armored soldiers also have 500 defense. So unless I've forgotten what numbers look like and I'm confusing the 600 for something else, that Steward definitely should have been targeting the Frost Drone pretty much exclusively. And if he was targeting the Frost Drone, it should have, died. So it's a little bit strange that it very much did not. So now we need to figure out what went wrong there. I do believe that, like, enemy movements are determined at least in part by how you, like, kill them, you know? It's not based all on timing or anything like that. Like, you need to... It's at least in part based on how many enemies from a wave you kill, or if you kill an entire wave, I think that speeds up the rate at which further waves are coming. Okay. Did I make... Okay, well, I've clearly made some sort of mistake. Now I need to figure out what the mistake was.
Do be careful, everyone.
So,
I know what to do.
scavenger like so. I don't see any fault with this. Yeah, some waves are timed, others are flagged as specific enemies. Okay, okay. Actually, well, even with that, then Steward's presence shouldn't have... Yeah, I don't... Okay. I should talk when I have
There is no
something
turning
coherent
back
to
for
say,
you.
probably. Anyway. Oh, hold on. We're getting things out of order because I'm panicked. Okay.
Ready to heal.
Onsol, midnight,
I've arrived.
and pause to take some time to think. So, the waves, some waves are timed, others are key to specific enemies. Good to know, though it doesn't change the issue that we were facing there, whereby, again, an enemy just sort of like moved a lot sooner than we were expecting, because we definitely weren't killing things any faster than we usually do, and in fact we probably were killing slower, I think. Alright, I might just need to, you know, keep at it and be a little bit more focused. Yeah, a little bit more focused. Try to be a little bit more mindful of what is going on. So yes. No, we want to deploy...
Awaiting your order. Medication
Oh,
is
dear.
here. Take it.
Alright, we're... Okay. I was trying to wait to deploy Frostleaf, but yeah, I waited too long.
Okay.
This is not good, but... Oh no, this is really bad. Okay. Yeah. Again, I was trying to wait until we had deployed
Let's just say
Frostleaf
luck
to
wasn't on our
deploy...
side this time.
Yeah, to deploy our medic. But it looks like that was... I mean, that probably wasn't a bad idea. It probably wasn't a bad idea, we just didn't implement it very well. Alright.
Listen,
So,
everyone.
once again,
Stay
as we were.
calm.
They probably won't make it to tomorrow.
I think... I don't know, I might still be... Okay. I'm gonna refresh my memory on some of these as well. So these casters that are on the field right now are the caster leaders. So the caster leaders can inflict cold. Yeah, if they become frozen if they are inflicted with cold again. Okay. So that is, you know, as I thought. So that's... I don't know. For some reason I keep thinking that I'm misunderstanding
Please
how
hold on.
the casters work. But they
There
do
is no
seem
turning
to
back for
happen, or they work as I believe that they work. I've never had them not do what I expected them to do, basically. Okay. So yes. So, deploying Korra is probably not a bad idea in general, but we did not do it well there. My thought was that I wanted to keep enemies from progressing towards Midnight's position to make sure that he can focus on taking out the casters. But that's really not that necessary, because they're not that pressing of a threat necessarily. Yeah, we definitely want them gone. Did I? I think I must have messed up my order of operations again, because we're definitely not doing well.
Hurry up.
Do we want to remove Scavenger earlier as well?
Bathe in fresh
I feel
blood.
like we want to get at least one more activation out of her, but then probably it would be good to switch over to Blaze.
Keep writhing in the gutter.
Alright,
Yes?
Are we doing
as
this?
we had planned, switch over to Blaze.
This place could use some heat. That's fine with how do you like
So
this
yeah,
sound?
so I was thinking, I was a little bit curious. Oh, okay, we're good. So yeah, it definitely looks like, unless we have multiple casters targeting the same unit, they're unlikely to get frozen.
Awaiting your orders. Clear!
Yes, they're unlikely to get frozen, though certainly not, it's certainly not impossible for it to happen. Yes, I think placing Gummy in front will probably be
Your orders.
something. Oh dear. Okay, Steward.
Awaiting orders.
Hold on, is the... Hold on. Oh no. Oh no, it's out of range. Okay.
Freeze!
Okay. Yeah, it's just not within range. It's not within range. Okay. So that must mean it's on this tile. Oh no.
Freeze!
Alright, my entire strategy has collapsed. Okay, no wonder things weren't working. Alright, well, we've already lost it, so...
Oh, struck out.
So, interesting. Well, again, we did establish that even with things the way they were, we would still get more... Yeah, okay. Pardon. Yes, we did determine that even with the resistance and all that, even with... Okay. Pardon, I'm trying to recalculate every thought I've ever had in my mind. What's up? Well, we're stuck on 611 currently. Yeah, thank you for dropping by, Niken96. Yes, and I have just learned that my ace in the hole strategy of going for Steward didn't work in the way that we were hoping it to. So, repositioning him should fix the problem, but I was really banking on the specific tile that I had put him on, because not having him on that tile is going to make deploying Perfumer somewhat more awkward. Yeah, we've definitely got a lot of rethinking to do even beyond that, but I'm going to work on solving one problem at a time. Because if I try to do too much at once, then we're not going to accomplish anything. So, I want to make sure that there isn't some other problem that I haven't considered with the deployment of Steward.
Nope, I'm not scared.
Yeah. So again, what we've also established is that it seems that as long as only one caster is targeting our units at a time, they're probably not going to get frozen, I don't think.
Okay.
I don't think that... Oh dear.
You get no sympathy.
Alright,
Please
we
hold
have messed up already, which is unfortunate. But, again, we did establish that we're probably... Alright, this is definitely going to be bad, even without the likelihood of... Yeah, even if it's unlikely that Onsol's going to get frozen, him having to heal himself this much is definitely going to throw a big wrench in our plans. Yeah. Okay. Could have taken attention off of him with gravel, but honestly, I should have just restarted as soon as we placed them in the wrong order. Okay. One more time. I say one more time as though I'm not going to do this many more times. Okay. So yes, again,
Conceal yourselves
scavenger,
so the enemy won't find you.
as early as we can, really.
What kind of battle
And up
will
until
it
we
end
get
up being?
up until we get scavenger's skill active, we don't really have a whole lot to do. Because yeah, I don't think that we can deploy. Well, I guess we could deploy Onsel.
Ready to heal.
Garbage.
Yeah.
I've
Yeah, we
arrived.
definitely can't get them both out before Scavenger's skill activates, but we don't need to necessarily either, so not a huge deal one way or the other. Another thing to consider. I keep wanting to deploy someone here to try and take some of the heat off of some of the heat off of Midnight for defending this lane. I don't know that that's a good idea. It's not worked so far, so it's probably not a great idea at the very least, but
You get no sympathy.
yeah, especially with the fact that Midnight just kind of exploded there, which is less than ideal. We probably
Awaiting
could have
your
averted
orders.
that with if we activated Onsel's skill a little bit earlier. But yeah.
Here's something yummy for you.
Alright, so things are falling apart rather quickly. So,
Here's something
this was definitely a bad place to put Cora. I just kind of panicked.
There is no turning back for you.
Alright.
Anyone hungry?
So yeah, so we don't want to pop those slugs too early, because if we do, then we're not going to have the ability to handle everything else.
I won't be afraid.
I don't want Steward to get attacked if at all possible. Uh-oh. Alright, we've got another
I'm here.
enemy getting through us.
Are we doing this?
This place could use some heat.
Steward's frozen, but the drone isn't in play yet, so that's not necessarily a problem. Alright,
Awaiting your orders.
Gummy did go
Medication
down, and
is
that's a
here.
big problem.
Take it. I won't sleep on the
Alright, I
job.
do think we've lost. Yeah.
I'll hold up the rear.
Alright, I'm getting increasingly lost on what I should be doing here. Okay. I suppose a big part of it just comes down
Do be
to
careful, everyone.
not... Yeah, okay.
Nope, I'm not scared.
Need to make sure that I'm not getting ahead of myself and doing things out of order or otherwise in a foolish manner. Yes, we waited too long on Scavenger because I got all frazzled and deployed her.
Please
I
hold
started
on.
fast forwarding before I deployed her. Okay. Anyway, so, Midnight.
Keep
Again?
driving in the gutter.
Deploying someone onto these slugs right here. I don't know if the cursor is showing up, especially with all the snow blowing around. But anyway, deploying someone on the tile right above where I put Gummy this time is definitely seems to not be a good idea. Because every time we've done that, it's ended up with Midnight getting frozen and then dying. And we don't want Midnight to get frozen or die if we can avoid it. So yes, again, we need to place Perfumer like so, because we need to place
You get
Steward
no
one
sympathy.
tile forward.
This should work.
So yes, I
we
think we
doing
want
this?
to remove Scavenger as soon as we can. Maybe not that soon, because we did, oh dear.
This place could use some heat.
Oh wait, hold on, is
Here's something
Wait.
yummy for you.
Wait, hold on. Frostleaf isn't in range? Alright, I could have sworn she was being attacked by that caster before.
Hungry?
Maybe it happened after she started moving, but... well, okay. One way or the other, I do think we've lost, but... you know, no reason to give up yet, I suppose.
Specialty.
I don't know that we want Midnight here, long term, but... he's here, so...
First aid box of the medication is here.
Okay.
Take it.
So with our single caster, I don't think we can hope to survive this, but,
Push forward, Commander.
you know,
Bathe in fresh blood.
okay.
Extend my edge.
Steward is, yeah, okay, that's not gonna work. That's not gonna work either. Okay. Onsol's frozen, so yeah, we've lost. Okay.
Understood.
Will Steward, okay.
Specialty.
So yeah, so it was just a positioning problem.
Sorry.
Okay.
Did I?
So yeah, Steward being placed in that spot will allow him to attack the drone. So yes. So, we go again.
All right.
Again,
All
as
medicine
early
is
as we
being
possibly
prepared.
can, Scavenger down, wait for Scavenger's skill to go off,
I'm not
then we can
scared.
deploy Onsol and Midnight. Yes, we need to be very careful about how we deploy Frostleaf, because now we've learned that, yeah, she doesn't...
You get no sympathy.
Yeah, she does not draw aggro from the upper caster if she's in the tile right above where Midnight is. Anyway, as for Gummy, she did okay. Not great, but okay. I don't know if we necessarily... I don't know what our thoughts on deploying Gummy when or where or how are. Again, I'm probably overestimating the seriousness of the situation. Like, I probably don't need to deploy the medics, or, okay, I don't need to get rid of the casters
Okay.
as aggressively as I've been trying to do,
Garbage.
because they're not that big of a problem, I don't think. They're a problem, certainly, especially since they
First
are
aid box
both
is
targeting
prepared.
Frostleaf now. But they're not that big of a problem. I do think that they are going to kill Frostleaf if we don't do something about it, but that's why we do something about it. Probably we could... No, if we deploy Steward, he'll get attacked and then he'll die. But yeah, Midnight should be able to take out the one, at which point it shouldn't be as big of a deal. But yeah,
Garbage.
if we can get rid of some of these a little bit faster, or if we can get rid of some of these at all, that will help us a lot. We definitely don't want...
Protect everyone.
Yeah, we definitely don't want him holding this lane all on his own, because Midnight will not be able to handle that. Midnight definitely will not be able to handle the lane all on his own. These two slugs exploding is going to freeze. And... will it freeze?
Garbage.
Oh dear. Okay, well, one way or the other. The caster's being blocked now, so we don't need to worry about him attacking...
Are we doing this?
Yeah, we don't need to worry about that
This way
specific
could
caster
use some
attacking
heat.
Steward.
Push forward, Commander.
And with Blaze here, we don't need to worry about them attacking
Orders.
Let's
anyone
check
else
down.
either. Or we don't need to worry about any of the other
You
ones
know,
attacking
it
Steward.
wasn't easy learning how. I'm here. Come on. Show me what you got.
Alright, we let a slug get through, we let another enemy get through.
My specialty.
Because yeah, Midnight is not able to kill things fast enough. Yeah, we need another Centurion, probably.
I'll hold up the rear.
Seriously, we're doing a substantially worse than we were previously. Sip. So yes, not enough DPS where Gummy is tanking. Yeah. I was worried about putting someone in front of Gummy because I didn't want to expose them to too much damage, but yeah, we definitely need someone there because yeah, Gummy can't kill things. If Midnight's not facing the right way, he's not killing them either. The question is though, how much do we want to focus on how much do we want to focus on? Okay, let's not overthink this. Again, we had an idea, so let's go through with it for right now and see how it treats us. So we need someone to help Gummy, because again, Midnight can't from his position. I don't know. It might not be... Again, I've been playing very carefully. I've been very much trying to avoid... I don't know. I've been trying to get rid of the Yeti casters in the back. That's been like my main focus beyond getting rid of the Frost Drone. I don't know that that's necessarily... I don't know, because they're not like a huge problem for most of the mission. They might be if we don't deal with them, but they haven't been a huge problem to start with, you know? I do think we could probably stand to deal with this like leftmost cluster of slugs
They probably won't make it
a little bit
tomorrow.
earlier. The question though is how exactly we want to do that without risking Midnight or someone else getting frozen. I guess it's not terrible if Midnight gets frozen. Like we'll live with it.
Ready to heal.
You get no sympathy.
I've arrived.
Alright. So yeah, I think we do need to get rid of some of these slugs a little bit faster. Because yeah, having them there is very much limiting how and what we can deploy in that general area. Having another slug explode on Midnight will probably kill
Medication
him.
is here. Take it.
Maybe we should have deployed... I mean, yeah, I don't know. We should have deployed Gummy there. I was worried about Gummy
We sustained
maybe
injuries.
getting
I
exploded
need to
and
get
or
the wounded
frozen,
to the
but
rear. Cover me.
that's not a huge worry either because she's going to survive, probably. She's probably going to survive even if she is frozen and can't get rid of things as quickly. But Midnight is not anywhere near as durable.
Oh, everyone, it's time to attack. Is this how I'm supposed to give orders?
So yes, Onsol
Ready to
can be
heal.
deployed about now.
There is no
Midnight.
turning back for you.
Okay.
Okay, as Midnight says. I think, again,
My rats.
deploying Gravel earlier is probably fine. Yeah, we want to be able to deploy someone in front of Gummy, basically, is the thing. Yeah, I think, honestly, we probably don't need to worry about this specific slug. Basically, in general, we don't need to worry about it too
There
much
is
at this
no
point.
turning back for you.
Well, that's fine. And it's not fine, but it's
Okay.
survivable. Okay, anyway.
Here's something yummy for you.
Do we want to switch? No, we don't want Blaze this early, I don't think. I almost feel like we should deploy Estelle like this, just to help cover Scavenger's spot. I don't know that this is a good idea, but it's an idea. And we're desperately low on those right now, so... So yes. So, that's one caster dealt with. And we should probably start dealing with some of these other slugs, now that I think about it.
What's up?
I do think we should also get rid of Midnight while we're at it. I love the man, but I can't justify his existence too much. But yes. So, gravel exploded, that's fine, that's what we were expecting, that's what we were planning on. I think we need healing here now. Probably we could afford to
Understood.
make some big changes to the lineup here.
Here's something
Blaze.
yummy for you.
Ideally, in the long run, we want Cora in front of Blaze, but we can't really do that until we get Chainsaw Extension Module online. This will probably kill,
Here's something
this will
yummy
probably
for you.
kill, Pinecone, and maybe not help that much, but I'm willing to try it. Okay, we need to make sure that Blaze doesn't die because she's also really important to our lineup right now. But she got frozen. Alright. Okay. Yeah, we've lost. Okay. So.
Let's just say luck wasn't on our side this time.
Again, we're running into the issue of just there being too many of our units concentrated in a very small location and them getting repeatedly frozen and exploded. So yeah, we really need to change up my paradigm here. I can't keep deploying like this. Because yeah, I don't need to be that afraid, because we've already established that the range
Here come
on the
my
casters isn't
flamboyant.
as wide as I thought it was, or it isn't as long as I thought it was. But we can probably play with things a little bit more and still have our units be fairly safe. This, I don't know that this is a good idea, but again, I'm
Writhing in the gutter.
kind of
I've
desperate.
arrived.
Kind of desperate for basically anything that I can get my hands on in terms of strategy. This wasn't a good strategy though, because if I do that, then Scavenger's just gonna die.
Let's just say luck wasn't on our side this time.
So, we need to have someone healing Scavenger. I think, okay. Onsol's positioning was probably fine. We need to figure... We need to rethink where we're putting Perfumer, is what we need to do. I'm thinking we might want to put her here or so. That might be something. But yeah, again, Onsol was fine. I don't think we can... Yeah, I don't know. Again, I'd need to really change up a lot of things in order to make any other deployment option
Please hold
work.
on. Keep writhing in the gutter.
Okay. Okay. So, next up, the gravel problem. I guess it's not the gravel problem, but anyway, next up, the deployment of gravel. So yes, again, getting rid of a slug early is good. Having a little bit more blocking here is also probably good, because it's important that we keep, very important that we keep Midnight alive, and very important that we keep Scavenger alive.
Keep
But
writhing
it
in
looks
the
like we're
gutter.
not doing either of those. Maybe if we were a little quicker there. I don't know, maybe we don't need gravel. Maybe we don't need gravel there at that specific time.
Aww, struck out.
Because yeah, we don't want that enemy getting past. We don't want that enemy getting past Scavenger. I might think about putting another Charger Vanguard on the field.
Conceal
Or
yourselves
putting a
so the
Charger
enemy
Vanguard on
won't
the
find you.
field. That might be something.
Everyone, let's play.
They could probably do a similar thing to what Gravel is doing, but a little bit less expensive. I mean, they'd be more expensive, but we'd get their cost back from retreating them. Okay. Onsel.
Ready to heal. Keep riding
Midnight.
in the gutter.
Okay.
So again, we need to make sure that things are getting dealt with in a efficient and tidy manner.
Okay.
Frostleaf, I don't know. I'm not that thrilled about how Frostleaf is likely to do here. Onsel's doing okay. I guess there's no reason why he wouldn't be doing okay.
Keep riding in the gutter.
You might be able to get away with deploying gravel to start
My rats.
slug hunting at this point. Okay. Anyway,
What's up?
Midnight,
Oh,
kill.
sword, pierce the moonlight that veils the night.
I don't know that we want... honestly, having Midnight
First aid
or
box.
having gravel kill both of those slugs probably isn't going to be devastatingly terrible for us. Definitely not going to be good, but... Oh, okay. Well, it was devastatingly terrible, actually. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Okay, well...
That's not my specialty.
No
So-
need to look back. We'll greet each other with a smile next time.
As we were. So, we don't want gravel killing both of those slugs because the damage will not be manageable. If we deployed Perfumer somewhere, we could maybe do it,
Show
but I
me
don't
your
know where we
spirit,
would
everyone.
deploy Perfumer that would be helpful. Because again, we don't want to deploy her
It
here.
may be a little gruesome, but I love
Do we
shredding
not want to
steel
deploy
and
her to there,
crushing
actually?
bunkers.
Because what we could do is we could move our sort of other line of defense right to the back there, rather than trying to push it forward.
Ready to heal.
That could be something.
Garbage.
I wonder.
Okay.
I wonder if switching our deployment order might benefit us in some way. Again, I don't feel that it's very likely that it would, but... you know. Okay. So,
First aid
Onsel,
boxes. The medication is here. Take it.
want to make sure that we're getting plenty of healing on the field. Yeah, we cannot... Honestly, we should probably just focus on these ones for right
Riding in
now,
the gutter.
if we want to get rid of slugs, and we do. Yes, because Gravel can definitely get rid of one. She will die in the process, but that's okay. Yeah, because again, it's not so much about getting rid of slugs. At least that's
Bathe
not
in fresh
our
blood.
sole concern.
Let's chill down some hotheads.
Alright. Do we
You
want
get no
Gummy
sympathy.
here, is a question. Midnight's gonna die, I think. Oh yeah, he's dead.
Intimidate the enemy.
I don't know that this is a good idea either, to be honest, but it's what I have done.
That's not my
So,
specialty.
okay. I feel like this is going to result in more slugs being in places where we don't want slugs.
Show me a good spot.
So this is
Perfumer can probably
Here's
be
something
deployed.
yummy for you.
Steward can probably be deployed.
You get no
I
sympathy.
think that, yeah, Gravel,
Any orders
yeah,
for
the
me?
slug has exploded far enough away that it's not a problem.
Down you go.
Do we...
ここですか?
This is a bad idea. Because Pinecone is going to die here. She's going to die here, and she's not going to benefit us in any material way.
Hear the roar of my chainsaw.
Oh, Onsel died. How did Onsel die? I guess a slug must have gotten him or something.
あれ、なんで火花が出るの？ごめんなさい。私のせいです。
Okay. I guess maybe we need to deploy even further back, perhaps?
All right. All medicine has been prepared.
That's the only other thing I can think of.
敵です。皆さん、手加減無用です。
Because we can't, like, we're just not, with the Frost Drone in play, we just cannot survive. We cannot, we do not have a single chance.
Garbage.
We might, how can we do this? Right now my thought is to try and get both of them on the field earlier. Okay.
Please hold on.
So, I think we can afford to deploy both of them now. I think an ad started while I wasn't paying attention. We can't deploy Frostleaf there because she'll die. We can deploy Frostleaf there though. Okay. Anyway. Taking a break would probably do me well, so we're going to do that. Be right back. Whoop. There we are. So, having been looking at the map while I was on break, I have thought of some new... we might need to make some changes here right now. But anyway, we might have needed to make some changes a while ago in order to save Midnight, but... oh well, okay. We're doing alright. Scavenger's probably not going to survive for very long, but... maybe. Anyway, my thought is, we can probably deploy Pinecone like so. And, alright. Midnight can actually help with the caster right now. So yeah, if I'd been a little bit quicker on the draw there, we probably could have also saved... we could have also saved Scavenger, and not having Scavenger is going to be a problem for us. But... this should be pretty helpful.
What's up?
What is up? What is up indeed? Okay.
Intimidate the enemy? Push forward, Commander!
So, I don't really like this setup. But it's not the worst thing that I've ever witnessed with my own two eyes. Not a good setup, mind you. But, again, it could be worse. I think we can wait a little bit before we deploy Steward. And I'm not tremendously confident that this is a good place or time to deploy Pinecone, but he is DPS. And, yeah, this is maybe not a good time or place to deploy Pinecone. Oh well. If we placed the front line a little bit further forward, it probably wouldn't have been terrible. Okay, the Frost Drone is... okay, every idea that I had apparently is failing me. Because I was expecting the Frost Drone would, you know, die, basically. If it doesn't, again, it's not the very worst thing that could possibly happen to anyone in the history of mankind. But it's definitely not the best either. Ooh, I don't like this position for Blaze. Alright, I think at least one of the slugs is going to explode substantially before the other one. Uh-oh. Alright. Can we block the Ice Cleaver with gravel? No. I mean, we could have, but we didn't end up in the right place at the right time. So we are going to lose. Oh, we were going to lose anyway.
We've sustained injuries. I need to get the wounded to the rear. Cover me.
So... I'm at a loss. I don't know how we're dealing with the frost drone. I just don't. I got nothing. I'm completely out of ideas. Again? Okay. Well, let's try things a little bit differently now that we have some other ideas. So, if we're going to deploy Midnight... Yeah, if we're deploying directly onto the tiles of the casters in the back, we don't need ranged guards. So we can probably switch to other guards and have substantially better DPS and probably better survivability too.
Understood. I'll follow your orders.
I'm loath to switch Frostleaf out of the team, but, you know, needs must. Who do we replace her with? Laios, maybe? Laios is probably not a bad choice. He's probably a pretty good choice, honestly. But, I don't know. I don't feel that much like deploying Laios right now. Powder could be good. Wood? Woodcutter be good. We don't... Because the thing is, we don't want things dying too much, and especially we don't want things dying, like, right at the same time. Because then the slugs are a problem. Let's... I don't know. I don't think that Moose is necessarily a particularly good option, but she's an option that we can take without having to level anyone up. So we can at least test what having a high DPS, short-ranged melee unit can help us do. I'm thinking that maybe having Centurions in the front is also not great, given what we've already established about when and how we're taking damage.
Us frontline breachers have high standards. Try to keep up.
Yeah, nothing... Actually, I think Moose is more expensive than Frostleaf. Definitely more expensive than Midnight. So I think we've not made a net reduction in the amount of DP we have to spend to deploy everyone. So we're probably not going to get set up substantially faster, if any faster at all. Don't get ahead of yourself.
Please hold on.
Understood.
But, you know, we definitely need support for scavengers soon, if we can manage. Oh no. We need support for both of them soon. Uh-oh.
Awaiting your orders. The medication is
well,
here. Take it.
this is bad, but it's manageable. Oh, it's not. Oh, I placed Moose outside of healing range. No wonder it wasn't manageable. Okay, well.
Any orders for me? What are your orders?
What are my orders?
Push forward, Commander!
Alright, I don't know. I don't think this is salvageable. I mean, we could, but I don't think we're going to get a good result out of this. Okay. So yeah, so not bad otherwise, at least for this early stage.
Just wait for us to get back, Doctor.
Scavenger. And again, we kind of know what we're doing from here. Yeah, as long as we put Moose in a place where she can be healed, we should be okay. That was the big problem there. Everything else should be solvable and reactable.
Ready to heal.
Maybe we want to...
Understood.
Well, I don't know if it matters, but we could face Lantha that way. Okay.
Not scared.
So, with the fact that they can both live, we should hopefully see an improvement overall in our performance, though we need to deploy
Awaiting your
travel like
orders.
so,
Medication is here. Take it.
and we're still going to get an enemy getting past us.
Keep
What
driving in
changed?
the gutter.
Did anything change, or am I just imagining things? I thought that we had an enemy...
Any orders for me?
I thought that we had... The only reason that we didn't... I don't know. I thought we had Gummy ready to deploy earlier there, basically.
Here's something yummy for you.
Well, anyway. So... Now what, I guess, is the question. Yeah, this is not good. Alright, hold on.
Chainsaw.
Here's something yummy.
So,
You get no sympathy.
again, I don't like what's happening here, but it should be
Intimidate
survivable.
the enemy? I'm capable of that, right? That's some of my specialty.
Well, if we kill this slug fast enough, it shouldn't survive long enough to be a problem for everyone else. Those two slugs are going to be a problem, I think. Alright, this
First aid
slug is
box is
also going to be a problem, because everyone's going to freeze and everyone's going to die. Which is just kind of the way of things sometimes, I suppose. Aura...
There's no turning.
This is my playground.
Got it.
Huh? I won't let you escape this easily.
Oh, wait, what? Why did Stewart freeze? He shouldn't have gotten attacked that much. Well, he did, apparently, so... It is what it is.
ここですか? That's some of my specialty.
I mean, yeah, I mean... we weren't surviving that. I'm under no,
I'm
under
good
no
for
illusions.
nothing. Just as expected.
Alright, so... Honestly, we might just be in a situation where we need to figure out... We just might need range DPS. That might just be the answer.
Let's work to make the world a more peaceful place.
Because, yeah,
It may be a little gruesome.
even with
but I
our
love
substantially
shredding steel and
better
crushing bunkers.
option for getting rid of the Frost Drone, we're still not getting rid of the Frost Drone. So, if we just can't get rid of it, then we... Or if we can't necessarily... I don't know, like... we should be able to get rid of it, I think.
Keep riding
Like-
in the gutter.
Ready to heal.
I don't know. I guess I never really did the math on how long it would take to kill, but... I don't know, I thought that we got pretty close to killing it, even with just,
Not scared.
yeah, even with just... Alright, be proactive.
You think you'll get away?
Yes, I thought that we'd gotten pretty close to killing it, even with just,
Awaiting your orders.
what am I trying to say here?
Garbage.
Okay. I had thought that we had gotten pretty close to killing it, even with just the use of what's her name? Medium. There we go. It looks like that's not the case though, because even with substantially higher DPS, it's still not dying. Anyway, other than that, we also need to figure out something else for our deployment because we're getting a lot of enemies leaking through at very inapt times. So, I think one thing that we want to do
What are your orders?
is start killing things a little bit faster, maybe?
Here's something yummy for you. My pushover work should pull a lot of enemies here.
So, we did have Scavenger die, which is a big problem. Wait, okay, no, we're fine. I mean, we're not fine, but we're not dead yet. Not having Scavenger is also going to be a pretty big problem, especially because it looks like we're dead now, but I guess not immediately.
Awaiting your order.
Yeah, things are very bad though, so
I won't be afraid.
yeah, especially because we're not able to get Steward out in a timely fashion.
Try some of my specialty.
And we can
Understood.
work to get him deployed, but I don't think we can really hope to do much with the way things are right now. Because yeah, we don't have the defensive capabilities right now. Yeah, we can't stop them. If we did, we wouldn't be able to heal, and we wouldn't be able to survive.
We sustained injuries. I need to get the wounded to the rear. Cover me.
Okay, so it looks like I don't think Pinecone is the answer. But yes, for the first time, Pinecone has failed us. Could it be that we want a Splash Caster, perhaps? Or maybe even a Phalanx. I don't feel like Phalanx. I don't think that's the choice. We can slow enemies, but I don't think that really matters to us. Lava would cost the same. She would deal with high defense enemies more easily, though, which could be valuable to us. I don't think Tomimi means anything to us in this circumstance.
As far as teamwork's concerned, I don't mind. As long as nobody messes up.
Okay, what else can we do? What else can we do? Moose, I think, is just way too expensive for what we're using her for. I don't think we have anyone who's, like, substantially cheaper, other than, I guess, Midnight. Yeah. E-Hunter's pretty cheap, but I don't think that she would do very well in this position. Utter's fairly... No, she's only very slightly cheaper. She can block more, which would be good. That's why Maru can't block more. She's cheaper. I don't think she'd have higher DPS, though. Hold on, let me sort through my options here a little bit more thoroughly. I don't think I have any other options that I want to use is the problem. Other options, yes, but none that I want to make use of. Could it be that we need another Vanguard? Because that was another thing that we had considered. Well,
I'll learn from others' battle techniques.
Vigna's pretty cheap, and she has a lot of damage on her. So that could be what we need.
I'll learn from others' battle techniques.
Alantha's fine. I don't know that we want Estelle on the team necessarily. She's okay. She'll do okay. I don't know though with Steward. I don't know that we can, because I don't think we can. Yeah, we can't promote him at the very least. There's nothing we can do to improve Steward. So if he doesn't have the damage necessary to kill the thing, then we just can't kill the thing. Him and Meteor might be able to kill it together.
Leave the long distance support to me.
And Meteor would be able to kill other things as well. That would make the healing situation even more weird. Well, I guess if we're... No. I was going to say if we're careful, we can probably set things up such that... Well, maybe we could. We might be able to get the situation such that Onsol... Yeah, okay. Yeah, I've got an idea. I think we can get this set up such that... Would we? Okay.
Everyone,
Here's my
prepare
thought.
to deploy. And please keep in mind that coordinated
So I
actions
want to be
bring
able to
victory.
cover this sort of inner area here with a single multi-target medic, basically. If I deploy Scavenger here, she will get attacked by this caster and probably die. I don't know. That was as far as my thought process went, basically. Alright. I think we're going to need to keep on keeping on. We're going to need to remove Scavenger at some point. Yeah, so 15, 28, 37. Okay.
There is no turning back for you.
Please hold on.
Alright. Alantha
Understood.
and Big Dog.
Battle stance ready.
If things go very well, we might have enough to deploy a defender. And we will. Okay, we're good.
Ready to fight. Here's something yummy
Yeah.
for you.
If we deployed... Well,
Awaiting
I
your
just sort of
orders.
assumed that without testing it now that I think about it.
Orders.
Anyway, so as to explain what I'm thinking here... Would...
There is no turning back
Okay.
for you.
Well,
Here's something yummy for you. Oh,
alright.
here's something yummy for you.
Sorry, my brain is shut down. Okay. Okay, is this a salvageable position? Maybe. Maybe. I don't feel confident in it, though. What do we... I guess we'll just live with what we've been
Critical
dealt.
hit.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know.
Critical hit.
Switching...
Awaiting your orders.
If we're going to switch on, so we need to do it early so that we don't lose everything that we love in the process.
Doctor, come on, show me what you got.
I think that gravel maybe was unnecessary there. Oh well.
Here's something yummy for you.
I don't like anything that's going to happen here, especially because we're going to have a slug explode in a time and in a place that is inappropriate. Which is to say, at all, anywhere.
Perfect chance.
It's fun.
So, I don't think that the drone is within range
This is the shot.
for Meteor to kill it. So I think our plan here just completely fell apart.
Battle stat's ready.
We just lost a unit. I don't know who we've just lost. Gravel, I think, yeah. We just lost the mission. We didn't lose the mission. Okay, never mind.
Critical hit.
But we have now. Okay.
Let's just say luck wasn't on our side this time.
Okay. So, that didn't work. What can we even do? Because, yeah, things need to die. Things need to die. We know that much. But what can we do to make them die, though? I was thinking that we needed to rely on defenders to hold the line. But that might not be what we should be doing here. You might want to go to our Centurions, but I don't think the Centurions are necessarily a good choice either, because if they kill multiple slugs at a time,
It may
then
be
we
a
just
little gruesome, but I
freeze, and then
love
we
shredding steel and
lose.
crushing bunkers.
Hold on. Stop. Well, let's tap real quick. Okay. So, as I was thinking that we perhaps wanted to place Scavenger one tile down
Anybody get hurt?
so that she would be able to be within range of
Is the
a
doctor
healer.
okay?
But if we do... She might be able to survive long enough, actually, now that I think about it. But yeah, anyway. Part of the problem there was that Scavenger didn't survive long enough.
Conceal
I don't know that
yourselves
she'll survive
so the
any
enemy
longer
won't
if we
find
do
you.
this, but... Oh, she's definitely not going to survive longer if we do that. Oh dear.
Eyes on me. It's showtime.
So yeah. Okay.
Let's just say luck wasn't on our side this time.
Unfortunate. If we face her up, she might survive a few more attacks. Maybe? Yeah, overall it might just
Everyone,
be that we
prepare to
don't
deploy.
want her
And please
there.
keep in mind that coordinated actions bring victory.
Everyone, let's play!
Yeah, she can only survive about 3 hits. Yeah, she will not survive this next one. Alright.
Did anybody
If we
get
wait a
hurt?
little bit longer, I guess we could do
Is the
this.
doctor okay?
I do want Scavenger out as early as we can get her so that we can get, DP as quick as we can. But if she dies, then we're getting no DP from her, so. That's it.
Us frontline breachers have high standards.
Okay.
Try to keep up.
Injections ready. Prepare for battle.
So, with that then. Actually, we probably want to deploy in the opposite order if we're doing this.
I know what to do.
Okay. So this might or might not go well. Hard to say. I definitely don't like it a lot, but nobody's dead yet.
Understood.
That could change any second, but nobody's dead
Here
yet.
I go.
You get no sympathy.
Yeah, everyone being healed might be enough to counteract the fact that nobody's getting healed quite as much as they would be otherwise.
Ready to fight.
Yes. Gummy. I don't know that Gummy's a good choice for this situation, or any of them, but
Stay vigilant.
she's our choice. So, Meter is going to get shot and probably going to die. Unless... Okay, Melantha has done her job and can be replaced.
You get no sympathy.
If we put Blaze there, she's going to make us get frozen and then we will die. So we don't want that.
Critical hit.
Well, I guess we can remove some of our units, at least. Oh, actually, we need to be really careful with how we deploy our other units, because, yeah, our range units up there will die. Okay, hold on.
Got it.
So we need to
Are we doing this?
replace Scavenger immediately.
This place, here's something yummy for you.
That's it.
Alright, I don't like that we're hitting multiple slugs at once. But we could maybe make it so their deaths are somewhat staggered if we do this well, which we didn't.
What are you waiting? Even the
Well-
dead can't save you.
It is what it is. We might have wanted to place another medic instead of
What are you waiting
lava, but oh well. This isn't terrible, but it's definitely not good, but it's not the worst thing.
Anyone hungry?
Okay. So, the two of them might
Critical hit.
be able to take out the Frost Drone in time to save us.
This is the place.
It's a strange and somewhat sad day when we're deploying gravel for DPS. Oh, and it's not a great choice either, it looks like.
How do you like this sound?
Alright,
Orders for me?
you need things to be
Do
killed.
my best.
Feel the wind.
Again, there being not enough DPS in front of Graf or in front of Gummy is a recurring problem. The Frost Drone did die, so that was not a bad choice at least.
This can't be it. We have to fight harder.
Yeah, if we... Yeah, lava might not be it. Lava might not be it. At the very least, she doesn't seem to be a great choice. I don't know that we want another Centurion specifically, but another guard of some variety is very much necessary, I think. Moose, maybe? I feel like Moose is just going to get eaten by the Ice Cleaver when it arrives. Doberman? Doberman? Doberman would benefit... I don't think Doberman
Got
would
it.
benefit anyone, actually. He'd benefit Onsel, and Steward, and Melantha. But we don't want Melantha very much on the field. Well, we've got Swire. Swire's much better for this purpose, I think. He'll affect everyone,
You
all of our
finally
melee
need
units.
my wisdom.
And she's more thematic. I don't... We'll see. We'll see how this goes. Maybe we'll not see how this goes. 453 attack is not bad. Better... Actually, no, it's worse than what Midnight has. He does attack faster, though. And she does, again, improve the attack of everyone else around her. What's the range on her talent again? 8 surrounding tiles. That would be pretty good. We'll try Swire.
Aha! You finally need my wisdom.
It'd probably be a good idea to promote her, but it'd probably be a good idea to do a lot of things that I haven't done. Okay. Anyway, so with things, with deploying
Let's work to make the world a
Scavenger
more
as
peaceful
late as we
place.
do,
What kind of battle will
we
it
could
end up
probably get
being?
away with having
I
her
wonder.
attack the slugs, just to get them dealt with faster. Nope, again, we need to do this in the opposite order.
I won't be afraid.
So, with this then, we'll wait a little bit longer, and then we will deploy Melantha and Vigna.
I'll do my best.
Here
Huh.
I go.
So,
You get
I
no
don't-
sympathy.
Will Scavenger live? I don't
Please hold
think so.
on.
We need to do something else. Oh, but we're going to get an enemy through our defenses here. We got them through anyway. Or they got through anyway. Yeah, not great overall. Gravel died somehow. I'm not sure what killed her, but
Say no
oh
more.
well.
Hey, dummies, bring it on! Business competitor or not, you will get a lesson from
So,
me.
this is the strategy at this point. Not sure if it's a good one, but it's a strategy. Don't get ahead of yourself, because we do need to deploy our other units.
The wind is blowing in the right direction.
Do we want to retreat Vigna? I think so.
Ready to fight.
Because yeah, we need to draw attention away from our range units up top there, is a big thing.
There is
I don't
no
know that
turning
Swire
back
is
for you.
necessarily a substantial
Critical
increase
hit.
to our DPS, but she's definitely a non-zero increase to it.
Huh? Time is money.
This is bad. It's really
Critical
bad,
hit.
actually.
Your medication is here.
Terrible, one might
Take
even say.
Stay calm, my friends.
Maybe that's a bit hyperbolic, but it's not good. Is the thing.
Are we doing this?
Hear the roar of
I
critical
don't know that
hit.
Blaze is a good choice for this situation either, but again, we're just kind of working with a lot of not great options right now, in general. Again, ideally,
Feel the wind.
we can get the Frost Drone killed fast enough. If we can get it killed fast enough, then our DPS will basically double here in a second.
Feel
Yeah,
the
and
wind.
it has, in theory, doubled now, though of course we have a lot of frozen units, so...
Battle
Nope,
stance ready.
okay.
We sustained injuries. I need to get the wounded to the rear. Cover me.
I think that Perfumer might have been a mistake to deploy. You might have wanted to use Onsel instead. Because I don't think I don't think we needed the healing in the
Us
back
frontline
as
creatures have high
desperately.
standards. Try to keep up.
I don't know. I don't know.
Time for a cleanup.
Hard to say. Well, again, we can keep experimenting. We have little better to do, so...
Ready to heal.
I know what to do.
This worked out fine. So I think it'll continue to work out fine, hopefully. Do we need to shore up our defenses before we start taking out the casters? Maybe.
I will protect everyone.
Yeah, do you have an Elite 1 waifu? I do not.
Push forward, Commander.
Keep writhing in the gutter.
Medication is here. Take it.
Oh, wait, hold on. Okay, pardon.
Battle stance ready.
My brain melted a little bit there. This is bad, actually. We're going to get an enemy through, unless...
I am your shadow.
This isn't going to be good, but at least it's something. You should have... Yeah, I don't know why I'm... Well, I know why I'm doing it. I'm doing it so that... Okay. I keep deploying Melantha directly on top of the caster's tile so that she will prioritize it, but that's a bad idea, because it's making it so she's not attacking other things. And we already established that the casters aren't that big of a problem that I need to kill them immediately. So yeah. Generally speaking, I don't know, generally speaking, I try to be very selective
Everybody,
about
let's go.
using units above 4 stars. Again, I generally only do it if they're thematically appropriate. Simply because I want to try to do the best I can with as low rarity units as I can.
Please hold on.
But again, I don't know. I'm putting too much pressure on myself. Because I'm both going for low rarity and low level at the same time. When I'm, again, not an expert in this game. I just don't know the game well enough that I can really expect to make much progress with as many challenges as I'm putting on myself at once. I'm being unreasonable towards myself. I'm not holding myself to reasonable expectations. But yeah. Anyway. So, with that,
Understood.
there's at least one change we can make immediately that will help,
You get no
if
sympathy.
not necessarily solve the problem.
First aid box is ready.
Problem here is Onsol only being able to target one. Yeah, means that we might get in bad situations like that. Okay. So it looks like Onsol was not the solution over Perfumer there.
How could this have happened? How could I? How could I have blundered so badly?
Alright. So yeah, we might need to start promoting units to Elite 2. The question is, who would we want to promote first? I think probably... Would we? Well, I don't know. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Again, it feels very bad. It feels very bad to... I don't know, I guess to admit to myself that I'm not that good at the game, but I'm not that good at the game. And the longer I like try to keep up this challenge, the more streams we're going to have where I'm just playing the same mission for 2 to 3 hours. And the more streams we're going to have where we're playing the same level for 2 to 3 streams in a row. And like that's just not fun. Like it's really not fun for me, and it's not fun for anyone else, I don't think. Again, like this is doable. Like I'm sure that between all of the units that I have, this is probably easily doable. The only problem is that I'm just not that good at the game that I know to make these connections. Because again, it took me like an hour or so after stream thinking about the mission to even remember that Steward was like an option, basically. So yes. So, with that, we're probably going to need to start being a little bit less, even less yet selective about leveling up our unit. Okay, so we don't have any dual chips, or we don't have any chip packs. We should be able to make those, I think. Maybe. I've never actually looked into it, so I don't really know how it works, but we might be able to do it. I guess we don't need to do this. Okay, workshop. Chip. Okay. So, we've got a lot of chips. And so chip packs. How do we get chip packs? We need to, or no, okay. All right, it looks like this is not, dual chips are made in the factory. Okay. Or dual chips or chip packs?
Products received.
All right. Whoop. Okay. Yeah, okay. Chip, or wait, chip packs. No, we need chip packs. We need chip packs. We don't need dual chips. I don't think, yeah. Or wait, do we? Okay. Let's go back to... Yeah, let us go back to Perfumer and rejigger my thoughts here. Okay, Perfumer. So yes, so we need... Yeah, we need chip packs. Chip packs do not get made in the factory. I saw that much. I don't know why I'm looking back in the factory. I guess just to double check. So yeah, dual chips. We don't need dual chips. We don't need, what do you use dual chips for then? If you use chip packs to promote to Elite 2. Anyway. So, chips. Chip packs. I guess we... Workshop? Oh, hold on. What? No. Okay. Workshop. Okay, so we need to do the stages to get dual chip, or to get chip packs. I don't know that we have any of the relevant stages to promote Perfumer right now. So after all this hullabaloo, we might not actually be able to do the thing that I said I was going to do. We don't. I guess we could promote someone else, but... So, now we need to figure things out differently. Unfortunate, yeah. Well, again, you suggested delete one waifu, and we do have waifu, and we can max out our potential also. Yes, we have waifu. We have her very close to being promoted. So yes. Silences. Oh. Oh! Okay, so this silences everything around her. Okay. Alright. Nice, okay. So yeah, so again, this is the sort of thing that I was talking about, where I just don't really have a broad knowledge of the game. Like, quite frankly, I don't know very well what a lot of the units that I do use do. And even less so do I know what any of the units that I don't use regularly do. So yeah, so again, the very idea that I could have waifu silence everything around her was completely unknown to me. But yeah, so that's a very strong option. 'Cause yeah, that's just her skill. Okay, okay.
Thank you very much, Doctor. You placed your trust in me, and I won't let you down.
I very much hope that you won't. Alright. So that is waifu as an option. We do also have Snow Santa as an option. I don't know that she's a great option for this. The thought that I had was that we could maybe use Bug Catcher to silence the slugs. I don't know. I don't think this would be consistent enough to be useful. We would only, yeah, if we used Barbed Claw Hook, then a lot of the time we would hook something that wasn't a slug. And if we use Telescoping Electric Net, I mean, it doesn't have a terribly low downtime, Or it doesn't have a terribly long... It does not have a terribly long cooldown on it. It's not awful, but it's not good either, is the problem. It's something, though. And I guess another thing is that we've also got, like, the whole category. Yeah, S1 is probably a good choice as long as she's continually attacking the slugs. I mean, it would be, but again, the problem is that we can't be sure that she's going to continually attack the slugs. But yeah, I feel like it would probably be better to go with skill 2, because that way we can hit multiple things. We can hit multiple things, which is going to be more likely to get a slug. Because we're not... Yeah, I don't know. The problem is, if a slug explodes and it's not silenced, then we're kind of dead. I don't know. Snow Sand could be good, and we could go either way, but... Well,
Yes,
I don't know. We're not
Employer.
making any headway, so we might as well just throw everything at the wall and see what sticks. So yeah, so gravel, switch out for waifu.
More evil to fight against?
Ah, yes, right. We need to make sure that she has her other skill.
More evil to fight against?
Boy, is there evil here. Alright, anyway, so... I don't know. I guess I'm still inclined to feel like telescoping electric net is probably more, for skill 2, is probably more likely to get a slug. At the very least, we can make sure that it's only being used when there's a slug to get. But I'm going to double check on Snow Sand. So yes, I want to make sure that this telescoping electric net says that it catches all enemies, but I would assume that it probably doesn't hit all. Maybe it does. Okay, I was thinking that it would be limited by her block number, but it doesn't look like it is based on what the wiki says. The telescoping electric net is probably a pretty decent choice. Of course, with waifu and her silence, that might not be a big deal either. Igna's fine. Melantha's fine. I feel like if we're going to use waifu, we want her, like, as beefed up as we possibly can get her. But yeah, so... That's a pretty good amount of damage, but it's definitely not enough to kill a slug, I don't think. Let me look at the stats on these slugs. Because, yeah, it would be very much ideal if we could just drop her on a slug and have it die. Okay, but that's not going to happen because they have, like, 3,000 HP. But yeah, she's just not going to do that much damage. Even if she were maximally promoted and everything, we definitely just couldn't do that. Because, yeah, we can only double her damage, or slightly more than double it, but... 7 seconds of silence is pretty good. Yeah, don't have any defense, fortunately. That is true. Yeah, again... My hope was that we could maybe have waifu just kill them all in one mighty kick, but no, that's not going to happen. So we need to be very selective about when we place her to make sure that she is eliminating the threat that the slugs pose, more so than eliminating the slugs themselves, I suppose. But yes. So, with that then... I don't know that her passive would apply to 7 Styles Kick. I don't think it would, and even if it did, it still wouldn't be... We would need to, like, increase her attack by, like... We need to increase her attack by, like, 10 times. And that's just not gonna happen, I don't think. Yeah, the math isn't going to work on that. But yeah, with all that she has going for her, she might be able to kill a slug before she has to retreat. And maybe before it loses its silence is more important, but yeah. As for medics, I want to make sure that our medics have their skills as high as we can get them, and they seem to, yes. I don't have a training room, so I could theoretically get them higher, I think, but anyway, they're the best that we can get them with the tools that we have available to us. Otherwise, Vigna is doing fine in the position she's in. Melantha's doing fine. I wonder if we have another charger. Well, no, I don't think we have another charger that could probably get anywhere near Melantha's DPS. Because Melantha's just strong. She's just really strong. I don't know if we have another. Well, we've got other chargers, but yeah. Vigna's probably the closest we could possibly get, but even then, she only gets a lot of her damage when she's using her skill. Yes, other than that, Humor, we could probably stand to promote Swire if we're going to keep using her. Would that improve her talent in any way, I wonder? Yes. I don't know that it would be, like, that much better, but it would be better. Oh, well, it does double the buff. Which is not bad, certainly. I mean, if we're using Swire, like, we might as well dispense with pleasantries, like we said, and just promote her and level her up and all that. Because, yeah, again, I just need to be honest with myself that I'm not that good at the game. And I cannot expect myself to get that good at the game within the span of, like, half an hour that we have left in the stream. To be able to calculate exactly what unit to use and what all the best possibilities that we have. Because, again, I only just barely know how the units that I use regularly work. So, anyway, we've got an ad break coming up, so we're going to take a short break, and then we will get back into the madness. Alright, I have returned. But yes, I came into this stream so very confident that just Steward would be the winning factor, basically. But I think I was definitely selling Meteor short. Because yeah, I mentioned it earlier, but I calculated their DPS. And I also mentioned it, but I didn't really think about the implications of it. That I did not consider the, I did not take into account their skills, Meteor's skill or Steward's skill, for the purposes of DPS calculations, because I figured it would be, well, I don't know, just for ease of use, basically. Again, there wasn't any good reason for it, I just didn't want to try and figure out exactly what the implications of Meteor's armor breaker would be. So again, I just ignored both of their skills and assumed, it's probably just about the same. But yeah, armor breaker is pretty significant, honestly. Because yeah, with that, and it does, well, it's probably not that significant now that I think about it some more, because armor breaker only reduces their defense by 25%, which drops the frost drones down to 450 defense, which still is exactly the amount of attack that Meteor has. The extra damage on every 5th attack is good. Yeah, even with 450 defense, though, they are still bottoming out the damage that she does. She does also have anti-air specialist, which I also hadn't taken into account, I don't think. I might have, but that's probably a bigger factor even than the skill. That being said, I'm realizing now that I also haven't increased Steward's skill at all. So yes. So with Power Strike A, this does mean that every 4th attack is going to be nearly doubled in damage, which is pretty significant. So that is probably going to be a game changer. And as for Meteor, again, we might as well improve her skill some more. So yes. So again, that is minus 30% defense, 150% damage, which could also be pretty significant. And it's every fourth attack now instead of every 5th attack. So that's actually really good. Between that, the two of them are probably actually going to be very strong now. Otherwise, we're really not getting any benefit out of Chainsaw Extension Module on the few occasions that we deploy Blaze, so let's use Power Strike instead.
I'm the leader, huh? I got this. I know all about wiping out hostiles.
Perfumer's skill is probably fine as it is. Swire, I'm not sure. I don't know if we're going to use Swire much, honestly, but she's probably going to be useful, but I don't know if she's going to be indispensable is the thing. We could probably put someone in front of her in place of her. Melantha's skill also needs to be leveled up. Yes. So, not a huge difference in that, I don't think, but I guess I wasn't paying that much attention to what it was before. Vigna's. Again, this is another example of my lack of game knowledge. I didn't avoid upgrading their skills for any reason, I just completely forgot that I could, to be honest, for the most part. I just not something that crossed my mind. Does anyone else need to improve their skills? I think everyone else should be basically fine, if not maxed out. Yeah, I think everyone is as good as they can be, really. Except Swire. I guess there's no reason not to improve her skill if we have the option. Whoops. No reason not to if we can. Whoops. I don't know that I want to promote her. Oh, well, never mind. Again, yeah. Since we've already promoted Waifu, we might as well level her up as well. Because again, I want to stop being so stubborn and foolish.
If I can fight like this here, I can definitely knock them out.
So yes. So, with that, once more unto the breach.
Just wait for us to get back,
Uh-oh.
Doctor.
We've got a bot. Be gone. In theory, it's not letting me. There we go. Alright, anyway. Yes. So, we've got new ideas.
Projections ready. Prepare for battle.
Implementing them is another question, but we have new ideas. So yes. So
this is a battlefield.
this is the battlefield.
I know what to do.
Okay. So, as soon as we can, we want to make sure that we're getting some of the attention off of Scavenger. Do we want to do it that early, though?
Understood.
Again, as early as we can. Even this may have been later than we would have liked.
Garbage.
Battle stance ready.
That's a little bit harsh. Anyway, so this should... I don't know that I like this. Oh dear. Well, yeah, that was just a not so good of a decision there. We just didn't deploy someone when we should have.
Fine with me. Come on.
Melanza is going to die. bad that way in terms of damage.
Here's something yummy for you.
I'll stay vigilant. Keep writhing in the gutter.
Yeah, big damage up front, not a whole lot in the tank, so to speak. There, I do want to replace.
Critical hit.
I do want to replace Waifu at some point, but I don't know that I want to do it right now.
Got it.
Steward.
Here's something
We'll
yummy
replace
for you.
Scavenger with Four-Eyed, or not Four-Eyed, with
Let me do it.
someone. You know, someone.
Go ahead.
There we go. Yes, Cora.
Hurry up.
What am I saying? Cora, yes, of course. Anyway,
Hey, dummies, bring out some of my specialty.
yeah. So again, I think we're going to deploy Onsol instead of another damage unit. This might be a mistake.
This place could use some heat. Feel the wind.
This is definitely a mistake, but oh well. We have precious little else we can do, so we've simply got to live with what we have.
Feel the wind.
So, Steward, please destroy this drone. And of course, yes, the same for everyone else. Man, everyone on the bottom is just like frozen forever. Wow.
I'm here. This is my playground. My
Yeah,
blood's only gonna
It
make
feels as
this
though
place hotter.
they just get frozen and then they get refrozen as soon as they've thawed.
Damn it. Screwed up again.
Ow. Man, I hit my tooth really hard with that. Ow. So yeah, so that didn't go very well. I think mostly it was just a problem of not deploying... Yeah, not deploying Waifu effectively
Do be
there.
careful, everyone.
Because yeah, we just deployed her
I'm
way
not
too
scared.
early to actually get her silence onto the slugs.
So this is a battlefield.
Okay. So the question then is, do we want to get attention off of Scavenger literally as early as possible, or just early?
Battle stance
You know.
ready.
This was too early, I think. And Vigna is going to die. Unfortunate.
It's too bad we
Sit.
didn't win, but I won't let it discourage
Man, I'm
me.
so out of it that I'm not even saying sip when I take a sip from my water bottle.
Fight evil with the fist of justice.
Let's finish this quickly. My time is far too precious.
I think we want... do we want to? I was going to say, I think we might want to deploy as late as we can,
So this
but I
is
don't
a
think that that's a good idea,
I
to be
know what to
honest.
do.
Because yeah, this is just going to delay Scavenger's skill activation.
Understood.
Feels like it took so much longer for Melantha to be ready after deploying Vigna, but I guess probably that just comes from Melantha having a lot of HP and Vigna having less.
What are your orders?
Yeah, actually, yeah, less than half
Writhing in
as
the
much.
gutter.
Anyway,
I'm ready to fight.
I guess, yeah, I underestimated how much, yeah, I did not,
Please
think
give me
clearly about how
instructions.
much, HP Vigna has compared to Melantha.
Victory shall be mine.
Alright, anyway, so, That should be good. That guy's dead. Okay. So, now we can start dealing with other problems.
Here's
Sword,
something yummy for you.
meteor.
Keep
So,
writhing in the gutter.
well, okay, slugs are going to start dying, and they're going to start dying
Here's
fairly
something
rapidly
yummy
here.
for you.
At least they have the potential to. I was going to say I was going to try to stop that one, but as long as another one doesn't freeze before we're ready, we should be
Down you
okay.
go.
I guess we're not necessarily ready, but anyway. I don't know that this is a good idea, but it's something that we can do at least. Alright, well,
Are we doing this?
Scavenger probably needs to be swapped out.
Big dummies, bring it on.
Perfect chance.
Yeah, I think we need to deploy
Please hold
Onsol.
on.
I've been trying to not, but I don't think we can justify not doing so.
This is the shot.
Alright. Anyway. So, with that, I think it's probably about time that we deploy Blaze, maybe?
Hear the roar of my chainsaw.
We could probably do it and survive,
Here's
I think.
something yummy for you.
Vigna can be removed from her position. I don't like this position for Squire because she's not really benefiting many of my units.
Perfect chance.
And she's taking up deployment blocks, which we would need to block other things in theory. Yeah, we don't have
Don't
any
worry
damage
if
on the
you see
bottom,
fire.
so
That's just a side effect.
We failed. How did things end up this way?
maybe now that we have fully maxed out Steward and he is as perfect as he can possibly be, we might be able to get around needing him. Maybe. I'm not that confident in this, but it's not impossible.
Everybody, let's go.
Eyes on me. It's showtime.
Again, we'll wait. I don't know that this is really benefiting us. I
I know
don't
what to
want to
do.
wait that long, to be honest. I faced Scavenger in the wrong way again, and I deployed in the wrong order again. Anyway.
I won't be afraid.
Okay, well, it is what it is.
I'll do my best.
I'll do my best too. Alright. So, with this
Here I
then,
go.
There is no turning back for you.
Become someone your own
I don't-
size.
yeah, Vigna has perished, which is unfortunate but not necessarily unexpected. Right, because why did Vigna die there? I feel like she shouldn't have died there.
Let's just say luck wasn't on our side this time.
I think we no. I don't know. One way or the other, I think we do need to deploy... Would we want to deploy Melantha? I don't know.
Well,
Vigna's
I'll be
just
sure to
not,
bring you some good
like,
news.
she doesn't have the survivability there is the problem.
Time to show them what we can do.
I think we might want to not wait till the... Oh. Got ahead of myself again. We don't want to wait until the very last minute
Sustained
to
injuries.
deploy.
I need to get the wounded to the rear. Cover me.
We don't want to wait till the very last minute to deploy Scavenger, is what I'm meaning to say.
Just wait for us to get back, Doctor.
They probably won't make it to tomorrow.
So, with all this then,
So
Perfumer,
this is a battle.
Scavenger.
I know what to do.
Then, when we can, we deploy Melantha and Vigna. I think we want to prioritize deploying them in such a way that we are able to split the enemy's attention between the two of them.
I'll do my best.
This is not that, actually, though, because Vigna is going to get attacked by both of them.
There is no turning back for you.
This is maybe not a good idea, but it's something. It'll help Scavenger survive. This was not a good deployment either. I don't like anything that's happened here, actually. But Vigna should survive for a while. Okay, she didn't survive for very long, actually. Maybe Swire's out of the range of the caster? Okay, one of them's dead, so it doesn't matter. Anyway.
What are your
Garbage.
Okay.
The wind is blowing in
So-
the right direction.
Got it.
This caster hasn't taken a lot of damage, huh?
last resort?
Waifu should kill him eventually. The problem is, it's not going to be fast or clean. Alright.
I've seen through the enemy's strength. Lunlun has his own pride. Here's something yummy for you.
When will this caster die? That's the big question.
Hurry up.
Hear the roar of my chainsaw.
This is probably not... How did Blaze get frozen that quickly? I guess the caster was right. Another thing is I keep misreading the ability of the caster as freezing the enemies after... Yeah, I keep misinterpreting it as it freezes or it inflicts cold. Man, Vigna's really not doing well today. Yeah,
Understood.
inflicts cold after like 3 instances of attacking. But I had assumed that that meant 3 instances of attacking the same target, which is not true. I think that Gummy's not doing very well here.
Down you
And we're
go.
surviving, but
Please
not for
give
long.
me instructions.
Go ahead.
Yeah, we're not going to make it
Down
through
you
this.
go.
Oh, I was going to test if
Father, I'm still not strong enough.
I was going to test if... Okay. Yes. So, Gummy's not pulling her weight. So, we need more damage. Estelle will probably be okay
Please
and
don't
have
put
some
me-
self-healing. Okay. So, we've established that. Then, other changes to be made. We need to be more careful about Vigna because she's about as fragile as a pane of glass. Swire isn't contributing very much in her current state, and we could probably stand to swap her out for basically anyone. Honestly, we might just not have her in general, because she's really not helping. We could make her help more, but I don't want to go through that much effort right now. Anyway, with Estelle in front, we should be able to do more damage and kill more things. With
Wipe them out in one
with
fell swoop. It's cheaper that way.
yeah, with judicious and effective use of waifu, we should be able to make things die in such a fashion as to not make them
Let's finish this
kill
quickly.
us.
My time is far too precious.
So yes, Perfumer in position I think is still fine. Nope. There we go. Perfumer,
So this is
Scavenger, thusly. We seem to have more success with Scavenger facing up than we do with her facing to the side. I don't know that this is actually true, but it feels like it's true. So we're just going to live with it for right now. Anyway, otherwise, we need to deploy our units in such a way as to make sure that they don't die. Okay. So yeah, Vigna can take a few attacks, so I don't need to be that precious with her. Yeah, we should have deployed her earlier to take pressure off of Scavenger in the front. But yeah, I just didn't get the timing right, unfortunately. Okay, anyway.
Let's work to make the world a more peaceful place.
Injections ready. Prepare for battle.
Alright, alright. So, once more. Perfumer, down.
I won't be
Scavenger,
afraid.
down.
I know what to do.
I guess we could also deploy... No, I don't think that deploying waifu would be a good idea, to be honest. No, we want to deploy Vigna first so that we can have her out and then have some of the attention drawn away off of her by Melantha. There we go, like so.
Understood.
Garbage.
Yes, this is precisely what we want. And now we can suffer a little bit, as we don't really have a great defense here. But we can place Estelle and she will help. Maybe not solve the problem, but she will ameliorate it. We are still having issues with Scavenger not quite killing quite fast enough, but that's not awful. If we deploy Steward like this, I don't think he will die. Okay, he's definitely not going to die. Okay, cool. Alright, so this will make things a lot better and easier for us. So, then if we
Are we
replace...
doing this?
I don't know. 'Cause-
Perfect chance.
The thing is, the whole reason that we brought Swire is to put her behind a defender so that we can still do good damage while having the defense of a defender, basically. Specifically, we want that for dealing with the ice cleavers. Uh-oh.
Hear the roar of my chainsaw.
Anyway. So, we need to be very careful with slugs.
Perfect chance.
Alright, well, that's unfortunate, but our units can't get any more frozen than they already are, so. And again, I've
Awaiting
stopped.
orders.
Just get out of here. Alright, we need to actually gather data. Like, we can't just keep fooling around like this.
This is far from my only battlefield.
Alright. Well, Melantha being here, I don't know if that really helps us. Alright, well,
Cross the line too
we've killed
far.
an enemy. I don't know that we'll kill another one before... Oh no, she can actually kill a slug before... you can't kill another one of these fellas, though. Okay, so... Yeah, the main thing I wanted to determine was whether or not Steward would have enough DPS to kill the drone before it... would have enough DPS to kill the drone before it moved on, and he doesn't. So... I don't know. So yeah, so we're going to need at least one other ranged unit attacking the drone in order to get rid of it in a timely fashion. Yeah, again, the ice cleaver is a big problem, but I don't know. Okay. Her attack is buffed when she's attacking someone she's not blocking. You can, again, buff all of the surrounding melee units. I don't know. I think we I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if we want to use Swire specifically though. Because I'm still wanting to use... I don't know. I feel like we could make Frostleaf or Midnight work. Probably. What is the damage on Midnight now that I think about it? Not that I'm opposed to using Squire, I actually quite like her, but... Alright, so yeah, Midnight has such attack. Then Squire... Well, yeah. Times 1.2. Yeah, slightly less, but again, if we were to promote her and level her up, she'd be better. And she's still making everyone else around her better. Do we want to perhaps... Again, since killing the casters immediately isn't like a high priority, honestly, we might actually want to switch over to other vanguards so that we can just get more DP faster. Like switch off of Melantha maybe, because even with what she does have, and she does have she's quite good for what she's doing, we're not killing them that quickly. And again, we don't need to kill them that quickly in theory. What we need to do more of is block, I think. But we can again deploy a defender. I don't know. Yeah, again, other options include potentially making use of Kazemaru, whose stats are okay, if not terribly impressive. She'd be better if we leveled her up, of course, but yeah, even still, though, she doesn't have tremendous defense. Yeah, the substitute can't block. I'm trying to think of ways to deal with the Ice Cleaver, is the thing. Trying to think of ways to deal with the Ice Cleaver, but I guess we need to get to that point in the mission before we really need to do anything about it. Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm probably just, in general, relying too heavily on Centurions because I think, oh, they can attack multiple units, so clearly that's the most efficient way to deal with enemies, and certainly it would be for dealing with lots of weak enemies. But we're not dealing with lots of weak enemies, we're dealing with lots of enemies in general. So yeah, so for... Again with the Ice Cleaver, let's look at... Okay, yeah, 830 attack by default. Attack interval 3 seconds, so that's actually not terrible. So yeah, again, it's the frozen. It's being frozen that makes the Ice Cleaver a real problem. Being frozen that makes the Ice Cleaver a real problem. What is Kazemaru's... Oh, actually, she actually has pretty good attack. And of course, she'd also be able to get buffs on top of it. Of course, Estelle also can get buffs, but Kazemaru might actually be more worth considering than I've been treating her as. I still don't know that she's necessarily the solution, but with her we'd be closer to a solution than I think we've been basically at all thus far. Of course, another possibility would be to just deploy, again, someone who can do damage in a range, and isn't subject to the terrible tyranny of the Ice Cleaver's mighty strikes. I never upgraded Pinecone skills either. No wonder she hasn't been performing very well, to be honest. Pinecone could actually be pretty good if we deploy her smartly. Because yeah, sort of my thought is maybe to use maybe to use Pinecone to deal with the Ice Cleaver, or just lots of enemies in general, because again, that's a large part of the problem, is just that we've got so many enemies. So many enemies and so little way to deal with them effectively. I don't know that her DPS would be substantially better than that of Swire. Average attack speed, slow attack speed, but she's attacking more things is the thing. I wonder how good Pinecone would be if we actually, if we actually improved her skills. Probably, like, pretty good, considering that she's already been amazing, more or less. So yes, so we can ignore 210 defense, which is pretty good. Not that great against low defense enemies, like a lot of them in this mission are, but not bad. Anyway, electrical overcharge. I feel like we probably want to use this a little bit more, maybe. Maybe. Oh, actually, I think I've been misreading the effect of it, because I was thinking, you know, gains an additional 20% attack every time this skill is used. I was thinking that meant that she just passively, like, always had that buff. But I think that she's actually, now that I think about it, yeah, it's an additional 20%. So that's applied to, yeah, the 20% or the 40% that the skill already gives. So yeah, anyway. I guess Pinecone does also have a pretty substantial damage buff to nearby enemies. Honestly, yeah, she's probably better for DPS than Wire is.
私の出番ですね。
Anyway, we don't have time to play again, so. Man, tonight has been a night. And I think, yeah, I don't know. Ideally, we would like to, again, improve upon our units even further. Probably, again, promote someone to Elite 2. But yeah. Again, that is going to take more thinking and more planning than I have, I don't know, it's going to take more time as well than what we can really do right now. Yeah. Yeah, again, not much I can really think to say here. Yeah, what else could we do? Again, going with an artilleryman sniper could also be worth considering. But yeah, I don't know. I think a lot of this we're just going to have to think about off stream, maybe experiment with a little bit more on Saturday. Because yeah, if I keep at this, I'm just going to exhaust myself, and I'm already pretty tired, so. Anyway. Time to wrap up. If anyone has any raid suggestions, as always, I would be delighted to hear them. If not, I can find a target on my own. Yeah, it looks like a lot of the folks that we usually raid into are not around right now. Oh yeah, also I forgot that Musume, the English version, was coming out like today, I think. Anyway, not that would have changed my plans or anything, but yeah, I did forget that was a thing. Okay. Not relevant, you know, but I am going to download it now that I'm thinking about it. I don't know. I don't know that this is a game that I plan on playing on stream, but anyway, I bring this up because we did already play Uma Musume Pretty Derby Party Dash on stream. I'm not bringing this up just because it happened to cross my mind. It is somewhat relevant to the channel. But yeah, again, if anyone has any suggestions, I would very much like to hear them tonight, because again, I don't know, I don't have a whole lot in the chamber, so to speak. I don't know, maybe honestly I'm a little bit tired, so I might just call it and not raid tonight. That's it. Because yeah, today has been an ordeal. Like, we've been through hard stages before. We've been stuck on stages for longer. But I don't know, it's a little bit demoralizing after we had a run where we were going through, like, I don't know, we were doing very well for a while, going through stage after stage after stage without problem. Then we hit this one and we just suddenly hit a brick wall again. And again, I don't know. Again, I set out with the intention of not leveling up my units as much as possible. Ideally without ever promoting anyone to Elite 2, basically. Like, I never explicitly said that, but that was something I was thinking of. That I just wanted to avoid promoting anyone to Elite 2 at any point throughout the playthrough. And again, there are ways to, you know, we could strategize, we could figure things out, but I just do not have the game knowledge necessary to be able to come up with the kinds of strategies that would be necessary to deal with these sorts of things right now. Because again, I've played the game a lot, but I've never went very deep into it. As you can see, again, like, I've got a lot of units that we've been using that just don't have their skills leveled up. That, you know, or they have their skills, but we're not using them very effectively. I'm not using the right skills for the situation, things like that. So again, I'm expecting a lot of myself, and I don't have the skill to back it up. And I can develop that skill, but I don't know. Like, this isn't supposed to be a challenge run per se. Like, it's just supposed to be a playthrough. It's just supposed to be a casual playthrough, more or less, that I just happen to inject a little bit of extra challenge into it, was the thought, to keep things interesting. But now the challenge is making things extremely uninteresting, because we're just, like, spending really long periods of time on the same stage. And again, this has happened before, but again, I've been playing this game for like 2 years, 3 years maybe even, I don't even know at this point. We've been playing this game for quite a few years, and we're only on chapter 6 out of like 15 or something in the main story. And I haven't been playing the game consistently all that time. And we have been doing other events during that time as well. But, again, if I have to make a compromise somewhere. If I want to uphold the integrity of the challenge, so to speak, if I want to uphold the integrity of making things very, very difficult for myself, then I have to accept that this is going to take a long time. And if I don't want this to take a long time, then I need to, you know, figure out ways to, you know, play through this that don't involve getting a extremely in-depth knowledge of every single operator in the game, so that I know exactly who to choose for every situation to deal with the fact that they are all very, very much not of a level to be able to deal with the problems that are facing us. So yeah, again, that is the situation that we're in. So yeah, so I think this is going to be a no raid sort of day. So yes, thank you very much for sticking around through all of my unhinged rambling here, my desperate attempts at hopefully trying to figure something out. But yes, it has been quite a challenge. But yeah, I know it, I don't know, I don't think it shows very well, but this is definitely very frustrating and disappointing for me, like I was saying. Because I was, on a roll, and then we suddenly have been stopped in our tracks. So yeah, so it's very, very disappointing. And yeah, again, it's even more disappointing that I don't see a way out other than, leveling up units. I don't see a way out other than playing the game as intended. Which again, I have desperately tried to avoid doing for the past 3-ish years of playing the game. So, it's a big change, but I don't know. I have reached the end of what I am willing to tolerate, I think, in terms of just sort of trial and error as a means of getting through the problems that we're facing. Yeah, I think I just need to accept the fact that I am not that good at the game right now. I could get better, and I will get better over time. But I can't get that much better in the span of just, in the span of one stream just off of trial and error, especially when I'm pretty reluctant to make changes to my team anyway. So yeah, and again, especially when I have also arbitrarily prevented myself from using the majority of the units in the game. Or maybe not the majority, but a lot of them. But yeah, anyway, so yes. Thank you all for being here tonight. I hope that you have had a fine night. I hope that you will continue to have a fine night every night. And I hope that you'll be well until the next time I see you. Thank you all very much, and farewell. Hopefully come Saturday, we'll have attained some chip packs, and we'll be able to make use of those for our purposes. But until such time, once again, farewell.